we were talking before, and you mentioned that reviews with a 1 star that has, or actually a review that has no text, that could be any rating, just cannot be removed from Google. And I thought that was very interesting that they, if there's no text with the review, that Google makes it a little bit harder for you to get those removed from your account.
Yeah, but the one situation you can is when there's a review bomb.
Yeah, and so that's what we're going to talk about next, is review bombs, and this is kind of an internet phenomenon that's happening lately. And just to give an example, on January 28th of this year, actually, the American investment and trading app RobinHood was review bombed on the Google Play Store after their company decided to go ahead and restrict buying to restricting stock buying to certain users. Specifically GameStop. I don't know if everybody remembers this, but it was very recently. The app's rating actually went down from a 4-star rating to a 1-star rating pretty much overnight, with about 100,000 users reviewing their site, or reviewing their app. They are actually sitting at a 2.4 stars right now. We actually checked before this meeting, and they're continuing to get review bombed to this day. We were seeing negative reviews about the past. So this can affect you into the future. And so now that we know what review bombs are, it's just a lot of people on the internet leaving you a 0, 1-star, negative review about your business or product. Some of the things that you can do about this is, one thing is, don't sweat it too much. In the beginning stages of like a review bomb, Facebook or Google or the review system, they're pretty good about catching these, because if your business has a 5-star rating and then overnight you go down to a 1-star because there were 2,500 reviews posted on your Google My Business, they're going to see that and they're going to start removing those pretty immediately. It might not be immediately, but that if it isn't, then that means that you should probably reach out to them. Sometimes they will ignore you, but just keep reaching out to them. Make sure that you are saying, "Hey, look, these are not legit reviews. We need to get these removed from my account." So if you removed, let me back up. So after you've gotten those removed, what you would need to do is reach out to your existing customers. This is a way to help you kind of get your reviews, your rating back up. Once those reviews, if you're not able to remove all of them, your rating might suffer a little bit. So reach out to your happy customers, be honest with them, let them know exactly what happened, reason why you were review bombed, if that makes sense, and then ask them to go out and make a happy comment or review about your business, and tell the customers about how they experience your business, and that can help you bring up your rating again.
Absolutely, that's always a good practice anyway. Even if like you have a new business or you have a new listing, reach out to your happy customers. And technically you can't ask them to do it, but you can encourage them to leave good reviews about their experiences. Justin, what are like some examples where a business would get review bombed? I mean, the GameStop thing we understand, and people have varying degrees of like if that was a good reason. But let's say, like, I don't know, a restaurant lays off a bunch of people illegitimately, and then sorry.
Yeah, no, that's a great example. A restaurant laying off a bunch of employees illegally, or in some kind of way. A lot of the review bombs that happen are actually along the line of games in the gaming world. Another example that I've heard about in the past is some companies will push their employees to do overtime for a long time to push out a game faster. So they'll have their employees for the last 6 months of a game working 12 to 14-hour shifts, and that actually came out into light to the public, and people did not like that. So their company actually got review bombed because of that, because they were making their employees work so hard on their game and not giving them a break. So there are a lot of reasons for people to review bomb. It's kind of that cancel culture kind of thing. It's kind of a relation thing where you need to before you make any like huge judgment on anything like that regarding your business, you got to understand how it's going to affect your review system too.
Yeah, like I said, we live online nowadays, so we express our opinion online, and it's finally, I mean, it's at a point now where our opinion matters. It is worth it to note though that a lot of review platforms will remove reviews from employees for that reason. Just because I know on Google, if someone leaves a review that, oh, I worked for this company and it was terrible, that is a violation of Google's policies. So you can get those removed. Reviews from employees, they say that like those types of things belong on Glassdoor or on LinkedIn. But on most review platforms, that is actually a violation. So that's one thing to note. Although if people who know that may not mention that they were employees, which it's harder to prove at that point that that's the case. Hi, this is Sarah from Denverdata Web. Thanks for watching. Please like our video and subscribe for future digital strategy chats. You can also visit our website at denverdata.com or find us on social media at Denverdata Web.